Hey nerds, how's it going? This is going to be a review of Rwby Volume. We're on Volume 4 now? Gosh. Episode 12. It was a No Safe Haven. And, I mean, I guess it's also a play on words because Haven is the academy and minstrel that team are Rwby and her new team. I don't remember the letters of the inverted team now, but kind of their goal has been this season. And moving forward, we do check in with pretty much everybody. But I want to talk about the events in reverse order, starting with the after credit scene. In the after credit scene, we see our good buddy Crow has fully recovered, or mostly recovered, or recovered just enough to start drinking, and is approached by, I guess, the new Ozpin, which really feels like this subplot is about to become a bigger, major plot, especially since, you know, they're all in Mistral. Well, not everyone, but Team Rwby, someone from Salem's Court. There's a lot of stuff about to go on in next season. The first episode of next season is probably going to be pretty explosive, at least in part. Really enjoyed this kind of... Is this guy crazy? Oh, but Crow is totally kind of already on the up and up, so it doesn't surprise him at all, which is nice. I guess continuing to move backward, we pretty much finished with Ruby's letter, so checking in with what's happening around her. We have the basically Haven's headmaster having a meeting with someone from Salem's Court, and it seems interesting, although I do think it's supposed to be misleading, so as we can't tell what side this character's gonna be on. I mean, they haven't even voiced the character yet, so I mean, they're still deciding exactly what kind of feel they want to give to that character, even though I think they're gonna be a faunist, considering their name has lion in it, but I guess we'll find out. We see that Weiss has run away from home, which she has basically been journeying to do all season because she thought she could bring, maybe not Iron back to her family, but she thought her family needed her, and it seems like they're her worst enemy right now. Although we do know that she's on her way to find her sister, so she probably won't end up with Rwby anytime soon. Let's see. We also have Yang on her trademark motorcycle, going a whole lot faster down the trail that Rwby's team went down this entire season. So, I mean, considering Ruby's letter isn't even sent yet, and she's already heading over there, I think if there is any big battle, that she might come at the tail end of it. But I am very excited to see Yang back in action. And her arc this season with kind of coming to terms with like the PTSD of what happened to her, and like the hopelessness of the whole nation felt, is really come around. It really made the appearance of Yang already traveling like kind of a triumphant moment. I guess the letter was supposed to be a triumphant moment for the entire cast, which is kind of undercut with how the montage ends showing some sinister happenings. However, before the letter, we see the Crow's recovering, although it still seemed like, oh man, he might actually die, which was very scary considering what happened last season. I was like, please don't kill anyone this season, please, pretty please. But that Stinger's out of commission, so hopefully nobody else will be poisoned, which probably means the next person to die will die like that. I'm in an underpass, and it's loud. But back to the letter, we've touched in with Weiss, Yang, touching in with Blake. We already know her plan is to basically take over the White Fang with her family and her close friend. And it seems like we kind of have this solo plot that's going to continue going on with her for a while, I'm assuming. I feel like she'll probably be the last person to join back on the team. At least that's what it makes it feel like. It feels like it's going to be Yang, and then Weiss, then Yang, then Blake. Rwby. But it would be interesting if they reunite in the order that their team letters are. Not that it really matters that much. Those that we check in on. I guess moving back, well, we did see that Ozpin's protege, I guess, or possessee, was heading to Minstrel. I didn't really think that they would actually show him in the after credit scene. I was actually expecting something a little bit more dark, but considering they ended the episode with something dark, they had to give us something light to compensate. Now, the hugest chunk of the episode, other than all these check-ins and the letter that is giving us hope, we also have the fight that the whole episode starts in, like the 12-minute fight. And it is pretty insane. But well choreographed. Their victory didn't seem like some sort of rabbit out of the hat. It didn't seem like a Deus Ex Machina. They got their heads out of their ass in a way, coordinated, and took out a really high-powered Grim, which was awesome. Given the flashback last episode, it really gave some context that was sorely needed, and I don't think the flashback episode could have come at a better time, because at the beginning of the season we might have forgotten about it. It was really fresh in our heads, you know? So riding off the intensity of how the last episode ended, it was like, oh crap, and then they're already fighting. Like, we missed a chunk of the fight in the transition from one episode to the other, which feels really good because we know that they haven't really put any dents in it when the fight starts. I guess I won't talk too much about like the fight scene as a whole, although their teamwork is pretty cool, and it's nice to see that John has a way to make his attacks a little bit more powerful. Now, I'd like to see that weapon used against a human opponent or something not so grim, to see how it stands up against something that's a little less mindless. But it was a really cool weapon and like very discreet and kind of up his alley. I'm wondering what type of other gadgets he might incur as the series goes on. I don't know if Ren is going to stop using his guns at all. They did get knocked out of his hands. We don't know if he picked them back up. And we saw him put the knife down that he used to kill this Grim when him and Nora were comforting John in the letter. Sorry, forgot to mention that in the letter part. But it's like the bond that Nora and Ren have. Like this whole plot line, I don't think they can go much further without words, because it does seem like they're a couple now, even before the fight's over, because they're mirroring kind of like this whole crazy thing when the day they met, and like they're really coming to terms with their own PTSD kind of. And it was nice to see Ren go fucking apeshit. It was pretty fun. Well, also like emotionally draining, considering he's such a calm character usually. Other than when Nora's teasing him, he's usually calm, cool, and collected. Although these days in the Rwby universe, things aren't so nice anymore, so you don't get to be as calm, cool, and collected as you usually would be, especially in the wilderness. I thought Crow was gonna die, totally. It was nice to see that Ren's powers, in terms of that cloaking thing he can do, how well it works, because we kind of saw a sample of it, or him using that kind of power way back in season 1, I think, when he was fighting that snake. But him using it on other people we saw in the flashback last episode, and him using it on someone like feet away is just like really cool. And I think before now, Ren was kind of a underrated character, or considered underrated. Sorry, they just didn't give Ren enough A, screen time, and B, like really good moments. He's relegated to the straight man and comedy relief for a lot of the first few seasons. So giving him like this much needed plot, I think was really nice. Although it did feel like kind of a pit stop on the A train to all the Salem stuff happening. Although this season we did get a fight with one of Salem's goons, so I guess I can't complain too much. Considering I don't really consider Rwby to be following in the footsteps of American cartoons, and instead I consider it anime. I know most people, I can't say most people. Maybe you say in the comments whether you consider Rwby anime or not. I definitely do. And considering that, I don't, even though there's plenty of ecchi anime, I don't normally think that Rwby will ever do anything ecchi, but they did show up Nora's skirt this episode. Technically twice when she's sitting on the helicopter with Ren. I'm pretty sure you can see her skivvies. And I know it's like, wait, why were you paying attention to that? It's like, it's there. But, I mean, the fact that, half the cast wear skirts and are very aware that they wear skirts, battle skirts, I think realistically it had to come up eventually. And if they never do a joke like that again, it's cool. If they do, please don't be sword art online about it. We'll see how it goes. I mean, this show treats women and girls particularly well, so I don't expect it to get out of hand at all, but I do think that maybe it's a little thing that a lot of fans might pay attention to too, especially considering the kind of show Rwby is. Seeing Ren pull out his father's knife that he apparently always had with him is really cool, and the fact that he used it to kill this Grim is also really awesome. I'm wondering if he's gonna like change his fighting style now, because the pistols are kind of effective but not really, and I do think that he could up his game and get an upgrade for sure. Also, the team maneuvers that the team employed are really cool. They weren't as elaborate as the stuff Team Rwby used during the Vital tournament, but I did really appreciate the coordination, and I love how having the team maneuvers, regardless of what team you're looking at, really shows the cohesiveness of the team and how well they get along. So you can totally tell that they're not as far along as Team Rwby was, because they don't have definitive names for the maneuvers. It's like, Rwby now! Oh, I guess you know exactly what to do. So, all that being said, I think this episode was very, very good. And other than last season's finale, I can't think of a finale I liked more. It's a lot of stuff up, and Rwby's letter was an inspiration even for like outside of fiction. Like, I think that like if you read the letter or listen to it, that it kind of applies to what a lot of people are going through right now in America. Like, things are dark and people are trying, or you may be trying, but people watching this video, I know I am, to survive, and it's going to be hard for more reasons than just the political climate, but it just kind of spreads outward in every direction. And I think that hope that Rwby was trying to give to Yang, even though that letter will probably never reach her, Yang will probably reach Rwby before the letter reaches Yang's dad. It seems pretty, I think it seems pretty likely that this letter was written in a very particular way. And I think they were trying to give inspiration elsewhere other than just this story has hope and not everyone's gonna lose. So given that, I definitely really love Rwby, and it's been a great part of my life since it started. RIP, Monty Ohm, all the love. Thank you for this gift. I hope you nerds are having a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.